Silence. Okay. Oh my goodness. Finally, Anna. Finally. Oh my god, this interview was. This was what, months? Was it months or weeks?
Oh my
It
goodness.
was
We are
months.
here. We made it, Jill.
Oh,
We
finally.
made it.
Oh, I know it's late. It's what, 10 o'clock at night. I don't know. Is that the same time for you? And
Yes, it's after 10 here.
right. So
Mhm.
I know it's late, but thank you so much for honoring my long-standing invitation to do this interview. Right. So, guys, if you're watching right now, my name is JL. This is Anna. She's gonna be my guest tonight. I don't know. She's gonna share her experience about running this online business, and I always love these interviews because it shows somebody else, somebody different, a different perspective. You're not just hearing my perspective running this online business, but you're hearing hers too, so you can resonate with that. So, Anna, you can introduce yourself.
No problem. Well, good evening, good night, happy spring. I mean, happy April. I don't know, everything. Happy almost weekend, right? How is everyone doing? I'm Anna, and I'm originally from St. Vincent, so repping Caribbean hard here. And of course, I'm in banking education field. I'm a mom, and I am digital owner, of course, in the online space.
Yes, thank you, Anna. So I'll just be asking Anna some questions as I usually do when I'm doing interviews, right? So first of all, everybody have their reason for starting an online business. My reason, I was just tired. I needed something else. I physically could not go out to work, so I needed something in the online space. Now, you, Anna, what is your experience? Why did you start your online business?
Well, we're not gonna be here for a long time, but so let me not start. But you ever got to a point in your life that you're in a season of prayer and you know or you hope that something is going to pop up, and you know that season of prayer where you're like, you know what, no, I need a change and I need something and I want to action it, because it's one thing to pray for something and then something pops up and you do nothing, right? And that's often us as well. And here I was, I mean, picture it, came up. I am in Ontario, Canada, you over there across. And you know what? I was working 3 to 4 roles, sometimes in one day. And I used to have to do 2 to 3 hour commute. And I remember even one time a coworker mentioned to me, oh my gosh, you do like 24 hours basically of commuting per week. And for me, I shrugged it off. I shrugged it off because I was like, yeah, okay, move on. That's an odd thing to tell me. And it just didn't factor in. Because I'm like, you do what you got to do. You come up here, you work hard, and you continue, right? And I mean, growing up, because I fully well grew up in the Caribbean, and persons like, well, hey, go ahead and maybe stay loyal to the one person or one place that you are, and you just progress from there, right? Don't wait too hard. And I said to myself, especially when I was having my child, I said, you know what, where am I going at this pace? That pace can't keep up. And I gotta say, with all the roles that eventually, when things happen around the world, I said to myself, there's flexible and then there's truly flexible, because some persons are like, yeah, yeah, but then the things you still have to clock in a certain time because you might have to go in a meeting, you have to go do this. And I knew I needed that a bit different when it started coming to little ones. So fast forward in that prayer, having this option, seeing another parent, and they were just mentioning, recognizing that the assistant that allows multiple sources. And growing up, I knew you gotta always have multiple sources. And I was like, just tell me more. You didn't have to say nothing else. I was like, let me just hear more. That's it, right? Because here I am doing 3, 4 roles, and you're telling me you have multiple through one platform, right? So those are my two key. And of course, everything checked off for me, and here I am.
Yeah, I like how you said flexible and truly flexible because sometimes we go to a job and we apply to a job and they say, yes, it's a flexible job. And when you come in, you can't do certain things, and you have to choose this particular day. You have to work and they said we work, some hospitals, you work every other weekend. Some of them you work the third weekend. You have to choose that weekend. That's not flexible. That is not flexible, right? So I like how you categorize flexible and truly flexible, and that is what this online business is. Truly flexible. I love it. Okay, so did you have skepticism? Were you skeptical when you started this online business? And if you were, how did you overcome that skepticism?
I don't know if it was a season of prayer or that moment, for me. And in addition, that I love information. And I believe that coupled with both what I was seeking and my list, even though it was nothing to what I've ever done before, because you couldn't even find me. You couldn't even find me online. So you won't even think to find me, right? And so no, I wasn't. So it's not something that I had to overcome. I did have a challenge, but it wasn't something in specific to be skeptical about because I got my information, and as long as I got a chance to review information for myself, which I love that we can, it's not jail tell you so, you see for yourself, right? And I love and appreciate that because guess what, this is your business, this is your baby, and it is how you're going to be going ahead and doing it, right? So yes, I did not.
So that is, yeah, that is, everyone is different. Some people was very skeptical, and I like how you were not skeptical. And that is the importance of doing research. I stress on research. Research is important, right? Sometimes you see an opportunity, you see something that you want to do, and you say, I don't know, you're so skeptical about it. But little do you know that if you do a little research about it, that can move you to action to say, you know what, let me go, let me do this, and you never know how it will turn out. So research is very important. Okay. All right. So what benefits have you received so far?
So sorry, I didn't hear you there.
What what benefits have you received so far?
Oh, absolutely. So I want to first off, I gotta get back a bit because I didn't want to stream past that because maybe someone had that where you consider not that you don't have a social media presence, right? Or you perhaps perceive that you got to be an influencer. So I feel like for me, also I'm a private individual, and I said, what? And I thought this must be a reality TV star because, like I said, the camera gonna be following me or what? And it was not, and it's absolutely not like that. So maybe you have that. So I just want to make sure for your viewers. I didn't want to because yes, skepticism is real and that's all right. But I want to speak to my challenge. So, and so hand in hand with that benefit, which I clarified, you don't have to be an influencer, right? And as I mentioned to you, it was 3 to 4 roles, right? 3 to 4 roles I was doing and constantly and upgrading skills. Let's not forget that because I feel like people think that, well, oh, you want upgrading yourself and more than you want more than but you want at a standstill, and it's either you told persons, you know what, sure, I can make it, or maybe you're there for the past 5 minutes, or you have to cancel. And I'm a foodie, which JL know. Places I want to go, the thing almost done by the time I reach there to try food. And now, I mean, as my child is growing, I'm able to be more present with them, and that is priceless for me. I mean, for some, maybe that's not what they're looking for, and that's okay. But for me, being able to be present, give that support, don't have to be seeking, oh, well, we have appointment here, appointment there, and you're not having to think about, well, let's calculate how much loss of pay that might be. Let's just be real out here because sometimes you do. I remember even the days of saying, well, especially those hourly pay days, and you're like, okay, I know if I work XYZ hours, well, this is what it is. If I don't, how we gonna cover it, right? Going from the Caribbean where it's more salaried monthly versus the
Yeah,
hourly, it's like
monthly
okay,
salary.
right? Get to work. So for me, recognizing and of course just having even more community, the growth that happens personally as well, right? That happens as I mentioned to you. I mean, though I was not shy, I don't think people consider me shy. And not having the presence, realizing that coming from like a completely different background and coming into the digital space, having that support, having the training and having mentoring and coaching. I mean, did I say support? Having all of that resources if you want to be, to utilize it, it is amazing. And I feel like sometimes we forget, you know, that part. We forget that part. And it just reminded me today to be so grateful of that that was happening today. So that's a little bit about my benefits. Sorry, I feel like we went on there.
Yeah, I like how you touch on support because, girl, I want to give you your flowers. Your support to me in this business is like, whew. Y'all, Anna, she messages me sometimes, chill, and that's seeing you showing up and like, what's going on? That is the kind of support is like, somebody looking, watching your back as it were. And this business like, what's going on? Come on, why not showing up and like, what's going on? Until I had to tell her, girl, I'm on vacation. But you have that support, and and not less like you have your mentor and your coach. Yes, you have that support, but you have support from other people who are looking, watching your back as it were. And she's from the Caribbean, just like me. And you meet like-minded people like that in this business. It's just amazing. Thank you, girl.
Oh, thank you so much. But you're gonna get. I mean, what Caribbean person not gonna give you that kick?
That's so
Hopefully
good.
some good ones. Let me not say that. And I feel like people think it's a dog eat dog world, and it
Hmm.
is. But I love that the community is so embedded with that integrity and that support. I mean, sure, everyone has their days, but truly, and I mean, I think people probably think this must be that girlfriend boy. And I have never met Jail in
That's the
person.
thing, yeah. We
I
two,
only met Jail
we supposed
here.
to we know each other for like years and we never met. That's
Yes, I
that's just
mean, I
what it
know
is.
it's been
Yeah.
a few years already, but I mean, people probably thinking this must be this girlfriend. She
I
from the
think that's I
Caribbean,
think that's the I think
and it's not.
that's the Caribbean in us too, right? Because sometimes I will see somebody on the street and they from the Caribbean, yeah, yeah, what's going on? And my daughter was like, you know that person? I was like, no, but that's just us, right? So maybe it's the Caribbean in us. All right, let me go to another question. So what would you have done differently if you was now starting your online business today?
That's a great question. I mean, I feel like I've never really pondered it. Um, there's so many, I feel like, little things that I may not do. I may have wanted to do, and I mean, number one is, why didn't I know about this when I was younger? Bypass all of this, right? But I mean, I don't want to say that because with trials and with things that we go through, you gain so much, right? So I don't think I'd ever, press that redo button, so to speak, in that regard. And I did have that skepticism. Like if there wasn't anyone. I mean, from the day my process was very quick in regards to how I wanted. But what I might give for in terms of an advice, it's more of don't make an assumption, right? It's one thing to maybe have some experience in something before and you let that influence you, right? And I mean, people say that relationships, friendships, and it spills over. I get it. That's just people being people. But when you truly want something for yourself, um, trust that what it is, right? Trust in that if you're praying, trust also God to open up your eyes to see it, because it come and it knock in your face and you're still not doing nothing. So something like that. I might do a bit differently, like actually double down. Yes.
Yeah, so one thing I want to say is no gatekeeping in this business. We all is, and it's not a bed of roses starting an online business. I always try to make this clear, right? We all go through some kind of trials, some kind of test in this business, and that is the point of mentorship that we went through the trial, so we can say, hey, I went through that. Don't do that. Do this, right? That is the importance of mentorship and support, right? You have that help, that support. Okay. What advice? Last question. Okay, almost reaching 50 minutes. What advice do you have for those watching and wanting to start something new in online space, especially those who never had experience in the online space? So what advice do you have for them?
The first thing which I always say to persons, like you have something you'd say, and not even just particular to this business, is that you need to know what you want. And you might be like, yes, I know what I want. I want to have time with my family. I want to have some extra. I want to start that golden years earlier, or at least prepare. Or I'm already in it and I realize I'm not prepared. I have things that I want to do. But do you truly know? Because if you think that you can, you will. But if you think you can't, that's it. That's it right there. So I feel like checking your mindset is key, because you can see, and it could be this option, it could be something else, it could be whatever it is that you are aspiring. But if you truly, you just let the doubts, right? It's not even like, on each shoulder who's talking, it's overwhelming of what you have for your mind. So for me, I always say to persons, I need to check your mindset, see for yourself, and say, you know what, I'm going to do this or I'm not. But work on your mindset, because that's where the attacking happens, the self-doubt, so many other things, excuses start and you never start, and then it's another year and you're like in the same spot. And for me, I want to see everyone grow, and that's why for me that I started as well, because I was like, why we can't keep it over here when persons, sure, it may not be 1 year or 2 year, who knows, but it definitely in the 30 years of working for someone else, or even in your own, because that jail, we have so many traditional business owners as well who do both. So they can see from that perspective that,
Yeah.
hello, this is nothing like that. They have no time to live, breathe, eat, that's it. So that would be my advice, is check your mindset, and of course don't make assumptions. Yeah.
That's good, yeah. My thing is do your research and believe in yourself. Like once you believe that you could do it, whew, that's just it. That's just it. That belief that you can do it. Once you do your research and you have faith in this business system, you see that okay, this legitimate is profitable, this will work. Then the next step is to believe in yourself. And once you believe in yourself, there's no stopping you. There's no stopping you alongside with your support, your mentorship, your coaching, all that. There's no stopping you. So that is what I would end off with. Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a good night, everyone. Take care.